Yeah, we're going to play another game, indeed, right? We're playing another game. It's called Jade Bot Wars 2. Jade Bot Gaming is about to kick in here, my friends. Okay, like, are there any Jade Bot enjoyers, my friends? Any Jade Bot lovers? Well, listen, okay, I've got some good news for you. I have some amazing news. At long, long last, I will actually look at this Jade Bot video. Okay, yeah, I've been delaying, guys. I've been stalling big time. Do you know why? It's because I'm afraid of the Jade Bot. Like, the Jade Bot scares me. Within me, it elicits a terrible fear that I will be replaced in the game, that ArenaNet doesn't need me anymore. They don't need me as a player. All they need are these Jade Bots to play the game for them. Here we go. Let's have a look. Jade Bots. Look at that. They look pretty cute. I've got to say that. It's like a helicopter, but it's also Jade.
Junlai Jade is always refining the products that make Canada a more accessible, advanced nation.
Yep, nice. And that's why we made these bots.
Creative and thoughtful design, the same technology used in Jade
nice music
can almost fit in the palm of your hand. Say hello to your new adventuring companion.
ArenaNet iPhone.
Needs, so you can customize your Jade Bot with a module. Let
Whoa.
them speed up your skiff, energize your mount, recycle items, scavenge for you, and more.
Whoa, it's a big speed jump up, actually.
Equip it with a robust power core, and your bot can even enhance your vitality.
Ooh.
Your Jade Bot will always be there to give you a boost, save you time, and pick you up when you're down. It's great company when you just want to take in the view.
Vindicator sword, by the way.
Your heart for Jade Bots.
This is a very funny reference to Cameron, Connor rather, brutally murdering a cat. The Jade Bot is a friend to cats, right? Unlike the ArenaNet dev team. Am I right? So there are a few interesting things there, actually, that are kind of worth going over. So I'm going to look at an article that kind of more explicitly states the features of these things in just a moment here. But here are some of the things it can do. And it is an interestingly designed mastery. Like, so as opposed to being this extra feature being added to the game, it typically like interacts with other features, right? And I think that's good. It reduces the amount of just feature creep and design creep that you experience in the game, right? I like that. It's a clever idea. So instead of being another thing, it makes your other things better. So, you know, you can go faster with the skiff. You get this cool boost thing into the air there as well. It looks all cute and funny, right? It can revive you a little bit. That's, you know, that now you're getting into the more feature creep stuff. And you can even make this waypoint, right? Like you can see here, this is actually one of the most interesting features that you can do. You can actually spawn a temporary waypoint that you can recall to. That is a very interesting feature indeed. There's a lot of ramifications of that, right? Like potentially you can instantly respawn when you're fighting a boss. We don't know if it's like single use or multi-use yet, but there's some potential serious power creep there. Like insta respawn, boom, go. Like start pumping again instantaneously. I've got to say, this is actually one of the more interesting, impactful features they're going to be adding to the expansion. Of course, it's mostly for players who maybe are already familiar with some of the mechanics in the game already, obviously. But it actually does quite a lot. Like, the thing that really makes me interested is actually this concept of the recycling. There's like this element of inventory management that this thing might be able to do for you immediately. It's not entirely clear what they say here. They say recycle, but that probably means salvage. I'm just wondering if you can automatically set it to salvage items for you, to like use your salvage kits on its own and just go crazy, right? So, and honestly, if they really went hard on that and made it have a lot of programmability, a lot of customization, I think that would be really interesting. So, for example, what if you could make it automatically salvage like exactly items that are green and below, but not unidentified gear, right? So it would skip unidentified gear and it would only do weapons and armor, right? So in other words, because, you know, when you've got unidentified gear, you typically either want to sell those or open them and then salvage them. You don't want to salvage them directly. It's actually kind of annoying to use the current salvage tools in the game to salvage the item drops you get when you have unidentifieds in your inventory as well. So that type of customization, I think, could be really interesting from a quality of life standpoint there as well. Pretty interesting stuff here from the Jade Bot. Neat little mastery there, the final mastery. Of course, there's going to be a stream where we'll get some more proper details about this stuff this Friday. But yeah, could be pretty cool. Yeah, it could be a gobbler as well, right? Yeah, it could be, you know, you feed stuff into it and it will like output like, you know, jade waste, and you can use that jade waste for some kind of magical thing. That's a good call, actually, that it might not necessarily actually salvage items. It might be like something else that you can do there. You feed things in there too. But yeah, now it's time. Okay, we've seen the trailer. It looks pretty cool. It was a good video. I like the video, actually. There was some nice cinematography here, actually. I like that. It did look pretty good. You know, I like, you know, it's playing with the cat here. It's a nice little meme. Maybe intentional, maybe not. I don't know. But it's still pretty funny either way. Look at him. Whoa. It reminds me of something from Ratchet and Clank, actually. And that's a good thing, by the way. I like that. That's pretty good, right? Universal power creep. A little bit, but I think they've mitigated it a fair bit. Like, masteries are inherently universal power creep. But I think this is done in a pretty interesting, innovative, and innocuous way. So I'm pretty happy with that. Not too bad. But yeah, here's the article. We can see some more details about this. This is from gamespace.com, guys. Okay, gamespace.com. Absolute insanity over here, guys. I just love to see it. Let's take a few things here. So let's look at the Jade Bot. And this one is a really fun one. So this is something that wasn't mentioned there, but jewelers will have a whole new line of wares to craft and sell with these pieces of jade. Aside from giving me more reason to get back to the workshop, power cores also provide additional benefits. Okay, the core in our Taurus first bot added a solid 100 vitality to our character. So you get 100 vitality for having the bot. And bear in mind, that's the tourist's first bot thing, right? It's entirely possible that that stat scaling might go up a little bit more. I think this is very deliberate, but this is, in my opinion, extremely deliberate. And I say this unironically, I think ArenaNet here is targeting people getting frustrated with playing Elementalist and Thief, particularly in open world PvP, because the hit points have been tuned based on different professions' ability to evade, to heal, to apply boons, right? Like damage mitigation, evasion, and so on. For a long time, but it's very difficult to design PvE around that because a lot of the time, you know, damage is going to smash you. There's going to be too much to dodge all of it. It's a very PvP-oriented mentality. So stuff like Elementalist and Thief can honestly be very punishing for new players in open world. And I actually think this is a very deliberate thing to try and even that out. I wonder if this actually scales up to more like 300 vitality. Because if you had like an extra 3,000 hit points on your Elementalist, okay, you're actually a lot tankier now. Same on Thief. You're a lot more durable if that's the case. And that's without all the other benefits, right? Like the auto revive it can do that. So you look, Elementalists downstate no more. The Jade Bot has you covered. Boom. There we go. You love to see it. Fantastic stuff. So yeah, this is, I think that's a very interesting thing to do, to add to the game. Now, I'm going to be boring. I'm going to be very, very boring indeed. This needs to not be added to instance content. Because if you're just flat giving everyone an extra 1,000 health, maybe even 2,000, 3,000 health, that is ridiculous power creep. Like genuinely insane power creep. Don't do that. This should be an open world thing only. I could see maybe an implementation of this in World versus World, perhaps, but it would be a different custom mastery line, a lot like gliding in the Walker, right? Not the same as the open world edition. But yeah, it should not be there. It shouldn't be in raids. It shouldn't be in strikes. Shouldn't be in fractals. It's just power creep. We don't need any more of that. Believe me, we really don't. Not a good idea, right? In that regard too. But I'm sure they'll have it under control. Yeah. And on the crafting thing, yeah, it might not be 500. It could very easily just be new recipes. Bear in mind, there'll almost certainly be new recipes for Jeweler anyway, because there'll be new stats, probably. That's not actually confirmed, but it's almost certainly going to be the case, right? So there will be some stuff for Jeweler anyway, but I think ArenaNet wants to go to 500. This just seems like a very natural opportunity to go up to 500 jewel crafting, just as like a little side feature to the expansion. Seems pretty cool. So, and the way they talk about these modules here, this is a bit unusual. Like, it seems like you can only use one of them at the same time. Like you have to actually swap these modules in and out. It's a very unusual concept there for a mastery. Typically with masteries, they kind of just all stack up together, right? But this might not be the case. You might have to like kind of customize it depending on what you want it to do. Or then maybe it's simply like you just interact with it and activate a module. Like you plug all the modules and you can select which one on the fly, right? That's probably the way it works. But there you go. There are 2 slots. Oh, yeah, so you can have 2, like, there you go. One slot for the power core, and then 2 slots for actual modules. So it looks like you could maybe have, like, 2 functions, and then you have the power core at the start. And it looks like this power core is what gives you the, gives you the extra stats. So it's entirely possible that you can craft better power cores that may give you more stats overall. Again, we don't know that. We'll find that out a little bit later on Friday, I imagine. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. This one is really cool. You know, I wondered if they were going to add something like this. This is something that I love about Final Fantasy. So for those who don't know, Final Fantasy has something called photo mode, and it basically means that you can like pose your character in a wide range of ways and then basically take a picture, right? Like with a certain degree of camera freedom. And this is now coming to the Jade Bot. You could actually make your Jade Bot like remote control, fly around into the air, and again, take screenshots. You can look at things, or you can fly about and scout with a Jade Bot. That's actually a really cool feature. I like that a lot, right? That's fantastic stuff. Big fan of that approach. Yeah, look, if you want to see the real potential, you guys want to check out Noxie's Twitter, okay? I mean, Noxie's other Twitter, if you guys catch my drift, it gets wild over there, believe me. It really does. Oh, yes. Now, I'd love to know about the limitations, like how fast can it go? How long does that last? You know, how far away can you go? Because this could actually have some real utility from the perspective of spectating events, right? Like in the guild hall, like for GVG or for, beetle racing tournaments, that sort of could be very, very useful. Though GVG in the guild hall, that's a bit sad, isn't it? But yeah, there you go. Although, unfortunately, yeah, Screenager mentioned a little bit earlier in the chat that you can't go in first person mode right now. However, with any luck, that will be addressed. Now we can get in there, guys. We can go in there and go crazy. First person mode, I love to see it. Because look, how can you take a good screenshot if you can't go in first person mode with the Jade Bot, okay? You can't do that. That is low energy. Low energy indeed. Yeah, good feature indeed. Yeah, then you have the zip lines. This is kind of like a cool little movement thing. Don't need to talk about that too much. It's gonna be fun, right? You go on you're on the zip line. Whoop, the Jade Bot will carry you. Love it. So let's see. Modules. This will maybe give us a bit more context. Let's take a look. These brand new Jade incarnations aren't as simple as Scrapper's bots. Anybody investing in a... Oh, what is this? Oh, Screenager, what is this? In a Canthum Chrome, can rest assured you will have room to upgrade and customize your companion using a variety of extra modules. Buried beneath the hood, or more likely the Jade Bot menu, players will find... Oh, hang on. Players will find these open module slots, allowing owners to wire in useful upgrades. When we spoke, ArenaNet was a little cagey on the... Ooh, okay. Of what this will mean, but did talk to the ridiculous number of possibilities in the long term, with modules adding bonuses like skiff speed, item collection, resurrection, and more. Essentially, this adds the functionality we're missing since the cosmetic pets bounded onto the scene in the form of miniatures. Now we're just hoping that ArenaNet has added the option to visually mute them as well. Yeah, I mean, that's going to get crazy, right? Already able to with sparkling raptors and candy cane companions. Yeah, because they'll probably sell skins for this thing on the gem store as well, and that can definitely get very noisy. I imagine it may only render client side. I feel like there may be an option to make it render only client side, or that might be actually the default, because I feel like having all of these bots is going to be noisy, very noisy. And believe me, that Guild Wars suit does not need any more of that, guys. Like, I think we all know that, we're already out of control there for sure, so it's very, very intense. But yeah, this is very interesting. And again, notice here, they're talking about expansion, right? They're very clearly talking about adding more to the Jade Bot over time and expanding this with new modules to craft, new modules to obtain. I wonder if they're going to sell modules in the gem store. That's actually a possibility, that they might be selling certain like premium Jade Bot modules. Ever Nashblade going to muscle in on the Jade Bot scene. That's also a potential there as well, for the monetization angle there as well. Yeah, legendary modules. Yes, indeed. Right? But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting stuff indeed with the Jade Bot there. Okay, exclusive exclusive. Okay, we're actually getting exclusive news from Screenager right now. The modules it shows being able to bought or acquired. Wait, in what way though? Like, from what? Like, from like NPCs in the game, or is it something that they're actually looking to, you know, are they looking to add this to the gem store, or is it going to be in the game? Just the tooltip. I didn't say what from. So yeah, I presume maybe you can like buy them from NPCs. Maybe you can get them on the cash shop as well. We don't know. To be honest, it doesn't really matter. I don't think they'd be very expensive if they were on the cash shop. You just like 300 gems or something, 300, 400 gems. Not too bad. Yeah, I've got to say, this, I've been a little bit like, fishing, skiffs. Skiffs are pretty cool, I guess. Siege turtles, pretty cool, I guess. This is certainly the most interesting mastery that I have seen. I think there's definitely some potential here. I would personally really like them to lean into this kind of quality of life angle, this almost like inventory management angle. I think that would be really good. Look, I don't know if you guys have seen my inventory. Well, this one's not too bad right now, but I mean, look, it's still not great. That's after like 1 day of playing. I actually did clear my inventory, but look, I'll show you my bank so you guys can really get an impression of what you're dealing with here. It's not pretty, okay? It's not good at all. So that kind of stuff would be really interesting because I find it a bit of a chore to mess around with inventory management. So I think leaning into that would be really, really cool. And it is interesting that you have a lot of customization here. It's going to be kind of like you almost like spec it out depending on what kind of content you're going to be doing there or what playstyle you have. Very interesting stuff. I wonder if you'll be able to pick like a power core that will make you do more damage as well, because there's this one here gives you vitality, you know, the original core, it seems, but what if there's one that gives you like 250 power, right? Or one that gives you 250 boon duration or something like that. Like, you know, I imagine there will be a lot of options there to help you survive a lot more. And I imagine you'll get better, like more powerful cores as you progress through the expansion and through Cantha as a whole. And honestly, I actually don't mind that. Like, this is going to be a hot take. I'm going to make all the Ellie mains happy. I actually do think that for a new player playing open world, it kind of is probably pretty annoying doing a meta event as like an 11k HP light armor Ellie, because obviously the problem is that they have to tune the meta events like so they're able to kill everyone. It needs to do enough damage that it's a threat to everyone. But the bad news is that some people have half the HP of other ones. So how do you tune the attacks of an open world boss? It's very difficult to do that. Now, obviously, this does give more survivability to even the tanky classes in the game. In fact, Guardian is a huge winner here with Vitality. If it ends up being just Vitality, because Guardian has heavy armor and low health, so it percentage-wise gets a huge survivability increase from getting like an extra 100 or 200 Vitality. It's a massive deal to have that for sure, just like as a baseline, particularly seeing as you already have like Firebrand, right? Like Firebrand has access to another 250 Vitality from having quickness all the time too. It's pretty good. Big Aegis Gaming. 11k Ellie since launch. Well, hey, now you're going to be a 12k Ellie at the baseline. Maybe even more than that, depending on all of these power cores. So yeah, really, really interesting mechanic here. The Jade Bot is coming. We will find out a little bit more about this later on. Okay, got to get credit here as well. Okay, for those who don't know, by the way, Ed Orr is indeed the Screenager in chat. I've had some interactions with him before. Actually did some interviews even for some of my tournaments, in fact. Very fun stuff. So yeah, there you go. Man of the people here at Guild Wars 2. Love to see it. Yeah, you're exposed, right? Yeah, I've exposed you. That is you. I know it's you, right? Like, so a great article here, man. Love to see it. I do indeed. And yeah, I've got to say, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of this on Friday. So I'll be here for that stream. I think it will be a really interesting one. And, you know, look, I've got to mention this before we go, right? Because you are in for a treat on Friday. Because these Jade Bots are going to be presented by none other than ArenaNet Ben P. I also think it may be Indigo and Ben P, actually. Because Indigo was tweeting about, like, you know, how she was heavily involved in this project there as well. But I did not know that Ben was in the mix. So, yeah, we actually have ANET Ben P stream coming up. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's very exciting indeed. I love to see it. I really, really do. Oh, yeah.